Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the latest edition of Wow, Lynch, Wow, dedicated to filmmaker David Lynch and inspired by the triumphant return of Twin Peaks. A friendly warning to everyone who isn't caught up on all 9 episodes of the new season of Twin Peaks. There will be spoilers and they will begin in just a moment, so viewers and listeners be warned. The mysterious circumstances surrounding Major Briggs started connecting various storylines together in a very profound way. This started with Gordon Cole receiving the call from Davis, informing him that the decapitated body of Major Briggs was in Buckhorn, South Dakota, along with Lieutenant Knox. Cole, Albert, and Tammy check out the body. They know about the age discrepancy. They know he reportedly died in a fire 25 years ago. They know he had access to highly classified information, and they know he was well acquainted with Agent Cooper back when Briggs was the age of his now deceased body. They know something is wrong with the Cooper who just flew the coop. They know about the reversed fingerprint on the spiritual finger, and they know about Dougie's ring from Janie E. And pretty soon, they're going to find out about Dougie Coop, thanks to the genius of the Fusco Trio. So it probably won't be long before they track down Cooper and Janie E., where I imagine Cole and Albert are sharp enough to make this connection. After all, how many women do you know by the name of Janie E.? And rarer yet, how many possess the fiery demeanor of this Janie E.? I mean, even the mighty Fusco Trio are reluctant to engage her, fearing her wrath. Tammy's interview with Bill Hastings revealed even more about Major Briggs. We now know that Hastings and Ruth had entered the zone to meet someone, and they also found the Major there. He was hiding, or rather hibernating, afraid that others might find him. He had Bill and Ruth get him coordinates, and when they gave him to him, he began floating away, which is a common theme touching on those we perceive as both good and evil in this particular season of Twin Peaks. Then his head gets detached from his body after he says, "Cooper, Cooper." Seemingly he was cut off before he could get that third Cooper out. Ruth would die, but what we know is Briggs was hiding out in this zone, and this provides a ton of new information about the events surrounding Bill Hastings. Although, I'm still interested in knowing who that certain person was. Bill said, quote, "We went to a certain place at a certain time. We went into the dimension and made contact with a certain person." Who is this certain person? It would make sense that this person could be Bad Coop, that he was aware of their pursuit of the zone, and that Bad Coop was scheming Bill, his wife, Ruth, the lawyer, and the secretary, all as a means of obtaining either the Major himself and or the coordinates. But it could be that this certain person was someone else entirely. Philip Jeffries, maybe. Then we have the journey of Bobby, Hawk, and Frank Truman, and the reveals that were provided by Betty. Major Briggs had foreseen the day that this trio would arrive asking about Cooper, and like a Bond villain's headquarters, Betty retrieved a device that Garland left for them inside a chair. We know that Major Briggs never lost faith in Bobby. And we know back in season 2 he shared his vision of Bobby's future, and Betty reaffirmed his belief in that vision. And Bobby is living it right now, again, just as the Major had foreseen. Bobby was the one who knew how to open the device containing the message, and Bobby was the one who knew the location of Jack Rabbit's palace. In fact, he named it. All of the lessons Garland bestowed on Bobby are now being realized, literally, figuratively, and spiritually. And then we come to the note itself. 253 jumps out twice. 253 yards east of Jackrabbit's Palace, and the time 2:53 on 10-1 and 10-2. 2:53 is a number we have seen at least a couple of times before. The arm said 253 time and time again. And whenever Dougie Coop hit a jackpot, we would see the numbers 253. The note also said, before leaving Jackrabbit's Palace, put some soil from that area in your pocket. Now, I'm assuming the Major isn't saying that because he envisions them throwing dirt in the eyes of would-be foes. So it's a safe guess to assume the soil is from some type of sacred ground near an opening that will appear at the specified time and days. Because of the omnipresent theme of duality always present in Twin Peaks, I'm wondering if maybe Jerry Horn didn't inadvertently step on some evil soil. Something so evil, in fact, that it tainted the integrity of his foot in some sort of parasitic fashion. Perhaps this is like when Mike said he had to remove his arm. But back to what I'm assuming is good soil, and remembering that fear and love open the two doors, perhaps this sacred soil will ensure that something good will emerge from the opening. I can't help but wonder if this isn't going to present a gateway for the essence of Laura Palmer, whom I think is the key to helping Cooper become Cooper again. It would be very fitting if Bobby played a key role in bringing about and witnessing any would-be resurrection of the essence of Laura Palmer. And if something good is to come from the instructions of Major Briggs, does that mean something bad will also happen? Is poor Jerry going to become host to something horrible, like some Leland Doppelkoop hybrid? As far as the symbols on the note, all of this stuff looks awfully familiar, but what it might mean in the grand scheme of things is anyone's guess. I love the way that Major Briggs couldn't just spell it all out, although I guess at least he's less cryptic than some of the characters in Twin Peaks. The other paper had 2 and a fraction Coopers written on it. This looked to be the exact same piece of paper that Major Briggs showed Cooper at the behest of the log lady. He delivered the message. The owls are not what they seem. Cooper, Cooper, Cooper. And this looks like that same piece of paper, and it's funny that one of the Coopers was ripped off, much in the same way Bill Hastings said, he said Cooper twice, and the way he said it, you were expecting a third Cooper, but that's when his head floated away, apparently into the realm of non-existence, where Major Briggs saw Cooper and said, Blue Rose. I now believe Bobby is going to be playing a bigger role in all this than I had recently anticipated, and I thought he was going to have a pretty key part all along. I think we're going to see a lot of growth and development from Bobby as he overcomes obstacles where all of his father's lessons will culminate in a powerhouse display of wise decision-making and resourcefulness. I believe Bobby will have many interesting challenges on the horizon, and I think he's up for the tasks at hand. Ultimately, the Major Briggs plotline continues to be deeply intertwined with the goals and ambitions of Bad Coop. While we don't know for certain, it appears that Diane might be an ally of Bad Coop. She seems a little anxious and impatient about something when her phone says blocked on the plane, and then she receives the text that seemed to be the one delivered by Bad Coop on that old hot pink phone. Bad Coop sent it out in all lowercase letters, and Diane received it from unknown in uppercase letters. None of this necessarily proves a partnership between Diane and Bad Coop, but a partnership certainly seems like a strong possibility. If Diane is working with Bad Coop, then that entire interview scene at the prison was just an elaborate act intended to trick Cole and Albert. That would mean Bad Coop has eyes and ears on the inside, through Diane, and that when Bad Coop inevitably tries to impersonate the real Coop, a testament from Diane would certainly go a long way towards throwing Cole off the right scent. Right now, I'm inclined to believe that Doppelkoop is cold and calculated, and that he would have immediately recognized the upside of having an asset like Diane. After all, Bad Coop has no shortage of allies, and who better to continue an alliance with than Diane? I imagine it would have been an easy alliance to maintain given her existing allegiance, or perhaps the alliance is predicated on fear and coercion. But either way, I'm inclined to believe that, despite initial impressions to the contrary, Diane and Bad Coop are indeed a team. And that's all I got. Hope you enjoyed, everyone. Thanks for watching. Please share your thoughts in the comments section, and have a great night, everyone.